What is up, everybody? It's Bo Mingle coming back. Been a little bit. Been working on, some W videos, but pulling up with a simple video for all my gooners and goonettes out there that are learning all about computer science. Alright, let's get into it. So today's video, by the title, Basic Concept. You'll see this in Computing 2. There's probably kind of a series I want to do. I don't know, we'll see. Where I just talk about Computing 2 topics for the boys, and the shawties. Hit my line. Hit my line if you need some help, girl. Alright, what's a stack? I'll show an image on screen. Well, basically, a stack is a very simple data structure. There's 4 points, just like 4 points of an engine. Okay, push, pop, controversial next one, top, which is to see it without actually taking it off, and is empty. 4 things of a stack. Damn, looking big. All right. So what's a stack? This is a stack. Red Bull is a stack, baby. Okay, but let's think about the analogy here, boys. Okay. So a stack is FIFO. Oil miners know that as fly in, fly out, but FIFO in this case is first in, first out. So it means I can never get the one on the bottom without getting to the ones on the top, unless I completely destroy the structure and rip out the bottom. So, take out a Red Bull. Wow. And I get to drink this. Right? But let's say I want the one on the bottom. Well, this one has to come out. There's only 4 in this, which makes it so easy. Oh my god, this one has to come out. And then I can get to the one on the bottom. Right? But let's say before I get to the very last one in here, come in and I put, that's a new int. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's a new int. Well, I guess these would technically be longs, because it's 2 per. Whatever. That's a new int. And again, that's a new int. Oh my god, now I can't get to the one on the bottom without going through the other top ones again. Again, unless I destroy the structure, which we don't do. We don't do that here. We can do that, Bo Mingle master penetration tester could probably do that. But, we want to respect the integrity of the data. So, that's a stack. So, Bo Mingle, how do we make a stack? How do I make this fucking awesome structure? Very simply, we want to start with push. Well, actually we want to start with the stack structure. So here's the structure. This is all in C. Eat my ass. If you want to do it in a different one, I'm not going to teach you that, because my computing one is all about C. So kill yourself. Here's the struct. Basic data structure. It has a pointer to the top. That's all we need. Pointer to the top item, called, obviously, I think in this it's going to be called stack item. So here, pointer to the top stack item. And then what's in a stack item? Well, a stack item, we can do 2 things. We can do it with a list, a linked list, or we can do it with an array. They're both the same thing. I'm going to do it with a linked list because I pre-programmed this and I did it with a linked list, so kiss my ass. Linked list. So a stack item is this structure. These are all opaque objects. I'll go over those in a different video, but these are all opaque objects. So anyway, yeah, that's a stack item structure. It has a pointer to the one below it, which is what it makes it a la linked list, and it has an integer that has its data. There are some problems with doing this as an integer. It's only 4 bytes. If you want more than 4 bytes, you would have to associate 2 stack items as one stack item. It just kind of runs into some issues if you don't have like full access to the stack. But obviously you can change this to whatever you want. You could do generic type. You could do, actually C doesn't have generic types, I don't think. But C++ does, so you could do it with a generic type in C++. You could do just an unsigned long, and then it would be 8 bytes, kind of double. Define your own data structure, have like a stack. But for like the majority of cases, you can just use an int here, and then just kind of interpret the bytes how you want when you're interacting with the object, or your user is interacting with the object. So, yeah, that's it. That's all you do. And then push. I'll show the code for push on screen, but it's pretty simple. All we have to do is a couple things. I don't think it's 4 things. I think it actually is like 2 steps. Push, you need to you need to get the one on the top. So that's step 1. Get the one on the top. Step 2, make our new stack item point to the top one. So it is 3 steps. Step 3, okay, step 3, make our stack point to our new top item. Step 4, before all of that, make sure the stack is not null. Wow. 4 steps for push, record pace here, boys, record pace. Pull, or pop. Pop, you can do a couple different things. You can just have it clearly stack or you should have it clear the top one without looking at it or returning it. You can have it actually return the item. So there's 2 different ways. Traditionally, like pop shows you the top item, but in the one I did, because we have 4 of them, and we have an item to actually look at the top, I'm not going to show that one. You'll be able to get the same functionality out of everything. It will be 2 function calls instead of 1. It gives you a little bit more directive on what you want to do if you actually want to look at it without removing it. So it's a little controversial. Some people say, don't do this. And other people say, Bo Mingo, best programmer, So, locking it in, boys. Locking it in. For the pop, a couple different things. 2 different things, actually, that I can think of, right? First, what we want to do is make our stack not null. Make sure it's not null. And then second thing, so this will be 3 things, is check if our, just have our stack point to the top items below. So the code for it will be like on the screen, but like it's just the top, it'll take the top pointer and then point to the top pointers below pointer. It's a little confusing, but it works. And then, third thing is free. You just want to free the top one because you no longer are tracking it at all, so you don't want like a crazy memory leak issue. So how do we do that? We free it. All right, 2 down, 2 to go. The last 2 are really easy. So for the top, you just check the stack's top, return it. You return the value of the stack's top, and that's it. And then for is it empty, you just check if the stack's top is null. Wow. Boys and girls, gooners and goonettes, Garth and lawyers, we just made a stack. All the code for it will be on the screen. Probably inside the code right now. I'm in my computer, bro. Lock it in. Some important things to note. Opaque object design, always cast in a known type. That's why it's at the top. 4 things for the stack. Bring this to your comp sci teacher and just tell him, holy shit, I should be teaching this class because I learned everything from Bo Mingle. Bo Mingle, the best coder of all time. Next video, linked lists, or maybe opaque objects. And that's it. Stay coding. Make sure